was going to do Gen V, but we'll do Gen V after this. Let's do Loki to keep
this
it the theme of
rundown that I hand wrote is worthless.
Shit, man. Plan one episode. Come on.
Hey, I always bring my own long box.
Fucking funk. That's what I thought you were going to say. I bring my own funk.
I always bring my own funk.
So
yeah, you sure do. Put on some deodorant.
Let's talk about Loki.
Loki, bro.
Episode 2. Season 2, episode 2. This show continues to just really make me fall in love with the MCU again. And I know it wasn't hard. It took one good project, but it shows to me that they're committed to. This just feels like a throwback to how Marvel was feeling earlier in Phase 1 when they're, or I would say Phase 2 even. Like, if there's people that online that have said Phase 4 feels like Phase 1.
Yeah.
In a sense of, I think they were more experimental in Phase 4.
Yeah.
And, I think there's a mixed reaction to everything from WandaVision to Doctor Strange to Thor to everything.
Man, you and I talked about this all the way through Phase 4. And every time it came up, I made the point, hey, remember how Phase 1 was like, what the hell's going on here? Okay, Phase 2 was a lot like that. Because we had the Avengers, but then what are we building to?
But this show feels like we're building to something. This feels like, okay, we are continuing. This is their first attempt at a second season. And you know what's crazy? What's working about Loki? It's produced. I think it's only 6 episodes again, but it's produced as a show. That's why WandaVision, I think, was one of the better shows because it was made with 9. It was made as a show. She-Hulk was designed as a show. And when they actually, and that's the whole thing with the initiative, they're changing. Now they're going to have showrunners, which was what they didn't have in the regular MCU TV stuff, which I think is because of the writer strike. They made it where I think every show has to have a showrunner. Yeah. So it has to be run like regular TV because of pay and and that's good, dude. You have to have.
It's going to be a better product.
Breaking Bad exists because of Vincent Gillian. I can't think of the guy who did The Sopranos, but like the dude who did The Wire and
the guy who did I can't think of the guy.
And the one with John Barenthal, the like sequel series or same.
Oh yeah. We Own the City. They also did The Corner. Yeah, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. But those shows work because they have one guy. There's a team of writers, but obviously there's one guy that has a vision for how, there's someone, a figurehead on the show that can guide it.
Well, Shonda Rhimes for like network television, she has like a bunch of different shows, and literally like she shows up. I mean, I don't know, but I'm willing to bet that like she comes up with the concept and like writes. Have you ever heard of a show having a Bible?
Yeah, there's a show Bible. Yeah, and that's something that they're going to start having. So she shows up,
Shonda Rhimes or whoever, like somebody like that. I'm using her as an example because she is a great story. But
I mean, shit, Dave Filoni with Star Wars.
Any of those guys. But what they do is they
Favreau
show up
with Star Wars.
They go, hey, here's the Bible, and here's how the show is going to go, and then everybody else is hired on that way. And they take care of the actual day-to-day shit and the filming and the casting and all that shit. I mean, well, they, whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is that it comes from one source, so it's kind of like, if you don't have a showrunner for your show, it's like a bunch of employees, and I hate corporate bullshit, but it's like a bunch of employees without a manager. And to be really honest, man, if I'm at work and there's no manager, I ain't doing fuck all, man.
Well, we'll talk about.
I ain't doing shit.
We'll talk about Gen V.
I'm gonna get paid for it.
The Boys is an example in superheroes where we've talked about how that show is so well written and it knows its tone. It knows it's biting satire. And no, that Kremke.
That was the other guy. What's his name?
I think it's Eric Kremke.
Yeah.
He's the dude who did Supernatural.
Yeah, Padalecki was the other guy on Supernatural.
Yeah, that was the other actor. It was Jensen Ackles and Padalecki.
That's because my cousin has a crush on them both.
Everybody has a crush on those guys. They're beautiful. Have you seen them?
What?
The Supernatural guys?
Well, objectively, yeah.
They're hot.
Yeah.
We're
sweating right now.
Yeah! I saw the sweat on your face, and that was my reaction.
But yeah, but yeah, he's the guy who did Supernatural.
Get your ass to Moss.
Is he not?
He's the head. He's the showrunner of The Boys.
And Gen V, I would assume.
I think
Or
it's
he's the
someone
executive
else, but
producer.
He's a producer on it for sure. Yeah.
Is Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg producers on this too?
Yeah.
How the fuck? Where the fuck? Good for them, I guess. It's a good show.
It is.
Are we moving on to that now, or are we talking about Loki season
I want
2?
to talk about Loki season 2
Or
or
episode
episode 2 because we haven't at all. But
I continue.
the show, okay, but like, I just think I like this episode because it really feels like older MCU.
Mhm.
And yes, it has that direct like Easter egg fan service reference, but it works because you also have to think that this Loki, that's still Avengers 1 is still fresh to him. You know what I mean? So that's why he's brought it up in conversation. Because this isn't the Loki we know that went through the second Thor movie, went through Ragnarok, you know, all that stuff in Infinity War where he sacrifices for. That's not the same Loki. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think because that they do a good job of this episode at directly approaching that and saying like, let him be the villain again. Let him, because he's good at it. He's really good at this character. Tom Hiddleston is great, and I just love that they kind of let him be Loki.
My thing is, I am such a fan of. I let you borrow that Fantastic Four, where they have the first appearance of the TVA. And Mobius is like a every looking dude, and every other dude in the TVA looks like Mobius, or they're faceless automatons, whatever. And I really like how they've played. Fucking jerk. I feel like hypocrite. I feel like they played a lot. They've taken.
Pizza time.
No.
I don't know what else the TVA has become in the comics other than what I read back in Fantastic Four with Walt Simonson. I don't know if it's become anything else inside the comics, but if not, what a great idea and what a great thing they've done, taking this one little idea and branching it into an entire like world. It's really, really cool, and it's well thought out. It's well written.
Yeah.
It's well acted. I mean, let's not, I forgot to talk about this last week, but Broxton, Oklahoma, by the way, is when, during the Siege events in the comics, Asgard is brought down.
Oh, that's...
And Broxton, Oklahoma is where it's stationed or whatever, and that's where what's-her-name falls in love with a regular dude.
Yeah, that's when
and that's where Volstagg blows up.
They like merge. They try to merge the realms of Asgard and
I have no idea what happened. I just remember reading Siege 1, and that's
was
a
when,
fucking rough...
Norman Osborn was...
Yeah, that's a rough... Siege number
Iron
1
Patriot.
is a rough fucking book because the Avengers get their asses handed to them. Like, bad. It's bad. But it's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago.
Peanut butters and cocaine.
So what did you... I think the dude...
But I
who
really...
plays X5 / Brad Wolf.
I'm not sure. Nobody that I know. But I really like Ouroboros' character. I'm really loving Casey.
Oh, Breaking Brad is the name of this episode.
Yeah, being a bigger part of it. I love that the first time I saw that guy, he was what's his name's stepdad in The Good Place.
I think his name is Raphael Casal. Who plays
Casal,
who plays Brad
Casey.
Wolf.
The guy who plays Casey.
I don't know.
He's the guy.
Cast?
He's the guy who does. You know who I'm talking about. He's got the gap tooth.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
He had the Infinity
he's
Stones.
good in this too, yeah.
But the first time,
he's really good in the first episode.
Yeah, he's. I hope that he's more of a part of that.
Eugene
Cordero. Eugene Cordero. Yeah, he has that commercial with an orange juice. It's really funny. But I mean, I love the cast. I mean, Owen Wilson is fucking sublime. It's almost like he was born to play this character.
Yeah,
he's really good at it. Yeah, it was just that whole end sequence where they're doing, the back and forth and the playing off each other and whatnot. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm done talking about it. You want to talk a little bit, or should I just keep going?
Keep going. Keep rambling, you bastard.
I fucking love it. Also,
you know what else
I like? Man. I like this thing and I like that.
I think it was fun with the whole interrogation of him talking about Loki's mom. And it's weird because it's like it still affects him because he knows what happens to her, but he didn't that's still not the same Loki. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's so weird. And this whole concept, and I've been thinking about this, is I said that I was upset because I was at a point where I'm like, I'm over multiverses, even, after the Flash. But now I'm in this thing where I'm like, okay, they're showing how to do a well-written concept of a multiverse. And I think they do that when later in the episode when they bomb those timelines.
Yeah.
It does it like those are people's lives. And it's like it's also what I think was done well with Across the Spider-Verse of like pointing out how this can work as a plot device and that canon does matter to a certain extent. Like Bruce Wayne's parents had to die. Uncle Ben has to die to be Peter Parker. Miles Morales.
It's a canon event.
Jefferson Davis has to die with Miles Morales. That's just what happens. Or Jefferson Morales is what he should be named. Anyway, and all that's also Prowler has to be his uncle. Like, there's just some things, But I like how this is doing a great job of saying, like, yes, the sacred timeline, the canon itself has some sort of purpose, but who's to say we should kill off these other stories? And that's what I think was a cool thing that I took from this. Of like, it does a great job of humanizing that idea of like, why not have this exist in a different world?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's such an interesting concept.
You look at at some point Marvel decided, like the Gwenpool is a perfect example. Gwenpool.
Yeah.
It was a one-off variant cover, like back in I don't even know, early 90s or late 90s, early aughts.
I think it was around the time of because Spider-Gwen didn't come into play until Spider-Verse. Well, Dan Slott's Spider-Verse.
Right, but the point is that Gwenpool was just a one-off cover.
Yeah, sometimes
concept.
they do it. Yeah. And
they took it and they were like, why can't we make this a character? And if you read Gwenpool's whatever, it's insane. It's the way they played with it and made it such a way. The other thing, the other multiverse thing that I love about the comic books is a Deadpool Secret Wars.
Yeah, you've talked about it on the show before.
Oh, I fucking love it because Secret Wars was such a big part of my childhood, and the way it's written makes perfect sense that Deadpool was there, but everybody forgot that he was there. And the way it's written, I don't want to give it away, but it's just so fucking brilliant. So fucking brilliant. It's fine. I'll tell you. I'll tell you off the air. I want
spoil
the listeners
right now.
I want listeners to be able to read it.
Yeah.
But it's those kinds of it's.
I'm wondering. It's just I'm so interested in what they're going to do with Victor Timely.
Yeah.
And how that's going to tie in everything. Because, again, this is doing such a good job.
Well, next episode we'll find out probably.
You think so? I think so, too. Well,
I think we're going to meet Victor Timely next episode. They got to bring him. If it's only 6 episodes,
4, 5, and 6 is when he'll be
sure.
Last half of this season.
Go to the next topic.
You don't want to talk about it anymore? Because I'm right?
So I know you're a douche.
Hey.
Why you gotta be a little douche?
Coming soon. New song. Look for it.
New song from...
Are you sure you don't have anything else you want to talk about with Loki? Loki?
No, I mean, I like the episode. I love Sophie coming back.
McDonald's stuff when he's like, you slapped me. And when he tells Mobius, you slapped me. And he's like, yeah, but I got you a shake. So we're good.
That any scene with any scene with
Owen will
Mobius
the show, and that's another thing too. This show can be serious and have serious consequences, but it could be really funny. I saw someone make a meme where it said it's a better version of Doctor Who, and I've never watched Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, that actually tracks. Yeah. If you don't like Doctor Who, then it's a better version of Doctor Who.
I've never watched Doctor Who. So
I used to, but it's the problem is that.
But it's timey-wimey space stuff.
The problem with Doctor Who is that you'd have, at least when Tom Baker was the Doctor, which is back in the 80s, you would have. I didn't know when it was on. We didn't know when it was on PBS. And they would take 19 episodes to get through one arc with the Daleks. And it would almost seem like there were episodes where nothing really changed. Like you're following it for like 5 episodes, and then the 6, 7, 8, and 9 episodes are like the same. There's nothing really happening or moving the story forward, and it's just nothing. And then
you're just sitting there and you're saying, "What?" All right, let's talk about
that's what I remember. I could be wrong.
Gen V episode 5.
Cooper
Nobody heard that.
heard what?
Exactly. Tyler's just ripping his butt cheeks back here.
I had chili.
Let's talk about Gen V. I'm sorry. My name's Tyler Alex, and I just had some
Tyler Alex.
Yeah, I had some hot chili.
Listen, I had some thin crust pizza.
I do wild things when I have chili.
Things come out of my butt. Okay, what now?
Damn it! What?
What? Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.